Gamers who have put thousands of hours into many different games, what is the game that made you blank stare at the credits after you beat the story? Link's Awakening. The game warns you, it doesn't sugarcoat it, you know what you're up to and what will happen when you finish the game. Still, I woke up the big fish, and the island disappeared, and the realization of what I'd done floored me. I killed the whole island, Marine, Mario, the annoying owl, every animal, and every sentient, living inhabitant of that world that I had learned to like. I was 10. Do you kill everything? I assumed, since it was all just a dream, everything was just fake, and you didn't actually harm anyone by waking up the winged fish. I also just figured the monsters didn't want you to do it because they were made by some malevolent force trying to take over Link's mind, and he needed to stay asleep for that to happen. It brings up an interesting philosophical question: were the inhabitants of Koholint real? Yes, they were a dream, but they all had their own dreams, emotions, families, wants. You got to know them over the travels, and does them being a dream make them any less real? I haven't played it in over 20 years, but doesn't the final boss also start to ramble in a panic after you beat them? Our world is going to disappear. Obviously Link and the winged fish were trapped in the dream, but I always kind of felt that the nightmare's main motivation for stopping you was because they just wanted to exist. English is not my native tongue, and Link's Awakening was the first game I played when my grasp on the language was good enough to understand all the text and dialogue save for a few words every now and then. The impact the story had on me at such a young age was profound. Yeah, Link's Awakening has a pretty dark story when you think about it. Not the only Zelda game that was super dark either. Majora's Mask, you meet all these people going through denial, grief, anger, all contemplating their own mortality as the moon starts to fall. Saying their goodbyes. Heck, the girl at the ranch gives her little sister Chateau Romani, which was heavily implied to be alcoholic, to comfort her when they thought they were going to die. Playing it again as an adult really hits different. Wind Waker, funny enough. Laws has always done well with the you can never fully reclaim the past plotline. It is bittersweet and wonderful. Many of the stories are often about finding beauty in the moment and amidst darkness and ruin. We can't go back to what we lost, whether it's people, time, history, the world, but we can still live and keep moving forward. The bedrock of the series is that courage and wisdom can work together and struggle to overcome power. They do melancholy and isolation and being happy anyway really well. Web Link. The thing that really got me in that game was the final battle. When Link absolutely impales Ganon right through the face. I just did not expect that from Nintendo at the time, and it completely took me by surprise. It was awesome. It also so cinematically perfect. It was such a moving final sequence right to the final moment. It's easily a top 5 gaming moment for me. I think what makes it such an iconic moment is the silence within it. You're this tiny kid who was just fighting this behemoth of a man, water rushing all around you, and then, silence. The cherry on top for me is that it's punctuated by Link getting woozy a bit once he's back on the ground. He crosses one arm over his stomach to hold his other arm and closes his eyes. You see it all catch up with Link. Still my favorite Zelda game because you almost feel bad for Ganon. Not to mention you see cute, whimsical cartoon child Link stab Ganon through the effing forehead with the Master Sword. I love that the game has this adorable charm but also some very intense scenes. Knights of the Old Republic. Karth, I don't want to talk about it. Mockery, oh, Master, I do not trust you. I cannot trust you, or anyone, ever again. Mockery, oh, Master. I love you, but I hate all you stand for. But I think we should go press out slimy, mucus-covered lips together in the cargo hold. Then why do you keep bringing it up? My favorite line of any game, was any line from HK-47 complaining about all the sloshing noises that humans made. BioWare really hit the nail on the head getting the sassy droid rolled down with HK. Best droid ever. This is the one for me. No matter how you played it, light or dark, the storyline was amazing. Telltale's first Walking Dead. It had me bawling. Me and my brothers played that game together, and I think we all just sat there slack-jawed for a while at the end. Then we reloaded an earlier save to try and get the good ending. Keep that hair short, sweet pea, crying face, crying face. Lee had such a sweet, caring voice. I loved that guy. Outer Wilds. This one was truly epic. One of the best games I've ever played. The most refreshing game I've played in years that reminded me how good of a solo experience gaming can be. The bittersweet combination of emptiness and fulfillment when you watch those credits is unlike anything else I've ever experienced in games. To anyone who has not yet played Outer Wilds, just play it. Do not research anything about it. Just play it. Now. I played it so blind that I'd somehow assumed it was a survival crafting game before I started it. Like a non-randomized No Man's Sky? I didn't even know about the time loop mechanic. It blew my effing mind. That game hit me like a bag of bricks. That ending left me so emotionally confused, and to this day sticks with me. Red Dead Redemption 2, that game made me care about the people, story, and world more than any film or series could. Exactly. When the game started, I was like haha cowboys riding horses and shooting, but by the end I'd spent so much time with all the characters I literally felt like I lived the experience with them and that they were real people living in a real world. There aren't many games out there that can do this. RDR2 is my favorite game to date. When this game came out, my roommate beat it and kept complaining about the ending. He said, paraphrasing, "This game is so dumb. I spent all of that time playing this and doing all of these amazing things. I get my ranch and then they want me to just shoot birds and do other dumb crap on my ranch." About a week later I decided to do all of that dumb crap, on my own profile, and got to the actual ending of the video game. Blew my effing mind and I just stared at the screen while the credits ran. Convinced my roommate to finish the game and got to watch his jaw drop just as mine had when he finished everything. It was almost as good as beating the game myself. No movie or game had ever made me truly mourn the loss of a character. There's nothing like Red Dead 2. When Arthur thanked his horse, I did a little squeak like that streamer woman watching the rabbit get shot in Clue. I'm a 25-year-old dude. She was white with black spots that my wife pointed out looked like a Dalmatian. I named her Cruella. She was my only horse that whole playthrough from the first mission with Hosea. I was so mad. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was my most recent one, where I just needed to sit and process the experience and respect the team that put that together. A shame that not so many people know this game. It's beautiful and the fights are not too hard, but at the same time not easy. Utterly beautiful piece of work from top to bottom. I'd heartily recommend playing it in VR in the experimental tabletop view mode. It's a work of high art. I'm very excited to see the next chapter in Senua's story. They've employed loads of the new tech that Epic have lined up for the engine, and the job they did on the first outing was spectacularly well realized. Bloodborne: I turned into a effing slug and then the credits roll. Edit: oh, Elden Ring. I remember showing that ending to my friends and both of them didn't know how to process what they saw, laughing my butt off. You are a very special slug though. I didn't see anyone say it, so I got to mention Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith Lords. Trying to wrap my head around such a complicated villain and figure out what it all meant was amazing to me as a kid. Really opened my eyes to the fact that games could be more than looty-shooty. I both want desperately to see a KOTOR 3 in my lifetime, been waiting almost 20 years. While on the other hand, I don't, because my Bayer/standard is too high, and they'll screw it up. God, Kriya is such a good character. When you go to meet up with the Jedi Masters and she just deconstructs the whole mythology. And goddamn the tongue lashing she gives you if you've been evil. The best part of Kriya is that she is blatantly lying and twisting words and actions in outright gaslighting manners. The fact that she has so many players convinced of her views speaks a lot to both the writing and the voice actor's delivery. She isn't an impressively well-written character because she is right. She is impressive because she is the charismatic politician that you can absolutely believe is capable of manipulating everyone around her, because she even captures most of the players. It feels understandable how she managed to get someone like the Exile under her sway. I can't remember any other game where a character have felt that way. Most of the strong leader/mentor characters so often falls flat, and fails to give off the feeling that anyone would actually follow them as they do in game. Portal. Replayed a few days ago. Played beginning to end in one sitting and completely forgot about real life happening around me. Such a good game and so many clever levels. The credits song is so awesome, too. John Colton. Most of his stuff is that good. I played it before the game was updated to tie into Portal 2, and when the credits started to roll I was like, wait, did I just die? It honestly is such a wow. It's over moment, huh? Subnautica. Wow. That game, even though I spoiled it for myself, was very emotional. Can't wait to first see Below Zero at release. My first playthrough was an emotional roller coaster, gaping in awe the first time I entered Lost River, giggling and bouncing around like a kid when I finally got my first Cyclops, blasting a Reaper away from my base with my repulsor cannon in territorial rage and much more. Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online. Visible happiness. I'm right at the end right now. Just finished exploring the last alien ruin at the very bottom of the lava zone. Totally wild. I feel like the game's initial phase and overall jankiness really undersells what it will turn out to be, because I've started this game twice before and it didn't stick, but I finally gave it another go, on easy mode, and with a lot of help from guides and mods, and the late game has gotten so good. If anyone is reading this and has been on the fence about the game, I'd say don't hesitate to play on easy and look crap up. It really streamlined the first chunk of the game for me, and while it may have spoiled a few things for me, I feel I wouldn't have stuck with otherwise, so I'm glad I did. I never liked using guides because it ruins the aspect of exploring an unknown world, but there's only so much hours you can swim around asking where the F are diamonds? And then finding out you probably swam over them 100 times over. Mass Effect 1. In my opinion, one of the best science fiction fantasy stories on its own out there, not just in games, in general. The story was good, the ending was satisfying, the characters and music were all amazing. I remember after beating the game for the first time, watching the final speech by Anderson and the Normandy fly off into the galaxy. M4 Part 2 hits different now than it did then, but on the first go, it was literal magic. The credits flew by as I got lost in the music, and that exact moment was when I knew I would love this series forever, no matter what happened to it or where it went. Really excited to relive it one more time in May. I played Me:2 and Me:3, both of which are excellent games that I love dearly. But Me:1 was breathtaking in a way that's utterly inexplicable to me, the story, the pacing, and the characters. The choices that you make ripple out across the game, and it's so completely satisfying from start to finish. It's a game that truly blindsided me and easily is in my top 5. It was written with such care and precision, and I wish I could play it again for the first time. I remember actually sitting through that ending sequence listening to that song as if in shock. It took me a few minutes to process that I was back in reality. When you realize Sovereign is sentient, damn. You exist because we allow it. And you will end because we demand it. That line effed me up. I was like, oh crap. We are in a serious effing pickle. Halo Reach. Doing the final mission not knowing how it is supposed to end the first time is so good. Right? I was just waiting for Halsey and June to pull some bullcrap space magic to pick me up, I just had to hold out long enough. Space magic would not arrive until later Bungie installments, unfortunately. Yeah, sadly, I had read all the novels, including Fall of Reach, so when the game came out, all I could think about was this isn't going to end well. It didn't really hit me until the visor cracked. That was my own moment. The Halo series has no right to make me as emotional as it does, considering how many hours of my life I have sacrificed on its altar. It's a double whammy of emotions for me. The story hits hard, and the music always reminds me of playing custom games with my friends during a simpler time. Hit 'em hard, boss. Actually quite a few. Last of Us, BioShock Infinite, Red Dead Redemption 2. However, literally, Final Fantasy VII, after the very short outro, the game displays a star field. I thought that there is a real outro, so I literally watched the stars passing by for like 30 minutes. I haven't finished RDR2 yet. Looking forward to it. Left me with quite a hole. Such a beautiful game. I cried so hard. Yes, BioShock Infinite gave me goosebumps. Damn, what an amazing game and story. Agreed. The second walkthrough was the real mind F though, when so many things/events making so much more sense. Last of Us was definitely this for me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.